what you know
About
tango and Cuban music, because it's such an interesting thing that that alone would make a concert. If people leave the concert saying, I learned today and I heard the difference between the tango and the Cuban music.
I understand what you're saying.
And because he's a good speaker and good player, it's a missed opportunity.
He's asking you if you can describe it.
Yeah, I can't.
So to be honest, I wouldn't be hard pressed to explain the difference. I mean, I can explain it in musical notes, but to say a tango is such, the only thing I could say is there's probably more of a swinging rhythm to Cuba.
You have been living abroad, right?
Yes.
How many years? You said many years.
We lived for 10 years in the Americas, 3 years in Hungary.
Tell me where?
So,
Because, for example, the tango or the Cuban music is different in Argentina, in Los Angeles, in Cuba, in New York.
yeah, so we lived in Santiago de Chile, and then we traveled a lot to Argentina.
Chile, Argentina.
Yeah.
Then there's another one which is the Colombian. You know,
And then we moved to Bolivia and Honduras.
Okay,
So,
so you have an extensive. Okay, and did you stay in Cuba?
we stayed like for a month or something like that.
Yeah. And in Spain, you said where? In Valencia?
In Andalusia.
Andalusia.
Flamenco country.
Andalusia. So, Andalusia and Cuba are very connected, and the music comes from there. So, let's say this. Technically, what we know, and then we have to figure out how to make people understand. The big difference, tango, within tango, there's so many tangos,
Yes.
right? So Piazzolla is tango, but it's not tango. You know, they call it like the assassino tango. So if you go into tango, already tell them, who are you? Piazzolla tango, or the people that hated Piazzolla? Which was all the Argentinians, they all hated Piazzolla until he won the super prize in Paris. And then they all said, oh, Piazzolla is great. We like that tango.
So in my case, you might have noticed that I don't say I'm going to play a tango song. I'm going to play a song inspired by tango.
Bravo,
And
but
I
because
use
you,
those
but
words.
because you say that,
Sorry?
because you say that,
Yes.
as an audience member, I'm like, okay, inspired by tango. Which tango?
Yeah.
Who inspired you?
Yeah.
Before or after Piazzolla? Because Piazzolla is
Yes.
defined. When people think of tango, Piazzolla. Right. So if you don't do Piazzolla, you have to tell them.
Yeah, I think in this case, I was inspired because we were walking around in Buenos Aires and just hearing local tango music. So that could very well be from before, or